Aren't error cards exciting? So you guys may remember last October, that's 2025, we uncovered a new official variation in Delta cards. That was the 2016 Delta card number 44, the Boeing 767. So about 9 years after the card first came out, there's a designation on this card that's a new one. So it's card number 44, but the designation is called 44V. Well, the regular one has the 7 of the 767 going below the wing as if it was in front of the wing, whereas the 44V has it stopping at the wing, meaning the 7 ends where it meets the wing, or actually the winglet to be more specific. Also, the text on the original is a little bit bolder, whereas the 44V is a little bit thinner, but also a little bit sharper on the front of the card. So the 44Vs popped up at a Delta surplus sale. We believe the 44Vs never made it into pilots' pockets to distribute to the general public. The 44Vs are difficult to find. Trust me. So variations are not errors by definition, but they are just as exciting. And they can cause a lot of excitement in the hobby even years after they're released. In this case, 9 years after the card was originally released. Just a couple days ago, a member in the Facebook Delta card group brought a new error to our attention. She had talked to a pilot regarding this card number 31, that's the 717. The pilot had pointed out an error to her on this card, and she posted it on Facebook. Well, then another person said down below that a pilot had told them the same thing. So it was likely the same Delta pilot that they spoke to. So card number 31 in the 2015 series of Delta cards, that's the Boeing 717, has 3 typos that this pilot had pointed out. 3! So the weight of the aircraft was wrong, the weight was missing a 0, and has is capitalized when it should be a lowercase h. Even before this was discovered, this card number 31 was pretty rare, selling for upwards of $200. When I heard about this, I had to know if there was a corrected version or possibly a variation where 1 or 2 of the typos were corrected. Between my research online and several other Delta card collectors chiming in on this post, we found out that it was never corrected. So I'm not going on the record to say that there is no other variations of this card, but for now we don't know of any, so we're going to designate this card as an uncorrected error. So will this discovery increase the value of this card? Well, as a sports cards nut, I'd like to share some insights. On paper, no. It's an uncorrected error, or UER for short, which means there's no corrected version of this card. There is no other one to hunt for. So if you got this card, you got the error. There's no other version to find. Well, in reality, the market has a mind of its own. The market decides its own value. So if the card explodes in popularity, yeah, the value is going to go up. But no one can tell the market what to do. We'll have to wait and see what the supply and demand on this card looks like. So the 44 and the 44V definitely created a rush as collectors were looking for both variations of this card. Trust me, I was, and unsuccessfully. The rarer one, the 44V, is much harder to find, therefore sells for quite a bit more. There's a recent sale of the 44V where it sold for about $250, but it's the only sale that I know of, so maybe we'll see if more come in, and we'll kind of assess the value at that point. The regular 44, probably selling for $25 to $30. So guys, if you have more input or if I left something out, you can leave a comment down below on this video. You can also go to pilotcardguys.com. That's our website. You've probably heard us talking about it already. James does a lot of great work over there. And there's a contact us portion on that website where you can get a hold of us. You can send us questions, comments, pictures, or if you have a new card that's a new variation, a new error that we don't already know about it, send it our way. I really nerd out. I love errors and variations. They're kind of my thing. And I'm going to keep searching for these errors and variations. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in and safe travels. So will this discovery increase the value of this card? Well, as a sports cards Will this discovery increase the value of this card? Start over. Well, as a sports cards nuts.